the environment you raise your youth in, the geographical location you choose to bring your son up in is going to be the major #1 contributing factor into how he grows up, what he's influenced by. So I was watching that Big Ego Entertainment, Bobby's thing, you know, Big Bobby. If you don't know, go check it out. Big Ego Media. And what he does, he interviews a lot of man off the roads and that. I think there's been a couple gal on it and they just basically tell their story and that. And I remember I saw an interview a while back, one young youth from Birmingham sides, and probably like 16 to 18 years old. And that interview was shot like 5 months ago, maybe even a year ago. Don't really remember it too tough. But I remember the youth's face. I remember him on the interview and that. And anyway, Bobby must have re-uploaded it like a couple of days ago or a week ago or something. I see it pop up on my feed on YouTube. And basically, the caption was something to do with Cooley 18 just before he got given a 17th minimum life sentence or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, blood, this you, to me, like his structure, the way he came across it, that my man had a little COVID mask on and that. So it's probably 2020 or at least 2021. He had the COVID mask on and that. His aura and that, he seemed like a young kid, 16, 17, maximum 18. There's no way he could be above that. And I think to myself, once his sentence is done, from time he's even done the minimum sentence, 17 years, he would have spent half his life in jail, blood. He come across like he's 60, 17, 18, where he's going to do a minimum of 17 years. He comes out, let's say he's 18 when he gets slapped with his sentence and that he can come out when, well, he's going to be eligible for parole or whatever. At the age of 35, he's going to have done half his life, pretty much, behind bars. So he's from some place called Winston Green or something like that in Birmingham. It's probably like the Brixton or the Peckham of Birmingham, innit? And I was thinking to myself, like, the environment you bring up your youth in, the geographical location you bring up your youth in has the biggest influence on them, unfortunately. Like, it's all well and good coming from a 2-parent household and having that male masculine figure in your life, and he did. And I'm not saying that, oh, just because he did, that means that, oh, it don't really matter if you have your dad in your life. No, man, them stay in your Ross Clark youth's lives, innit? But you could have both parents and that, or one parent or no parents. If you're in the wrong location, it's the beginning of the end, unfortunately. I'm not saying that if you're from Edmonton or Tottenham or Brixton or Peckham, you can't make something of yourself. I'm the proof, innit? What I'm saying is, like, that youth there who's from Winston Green, if he was from fucking Chelsea, or if he was from the Cotswolds, or if he was from fucking Swindon or Devon, he would not be serving a 17-year sentence minimum. The location you choose to put your child there, that is going to be one of the biggest determining factors of how he's going to grow up, because it's all about the people that he flexes with and he messes with and that. You are what you hang around with. Most children are not like their parents. Most people are like the people that they hang around with. So you can be a lawyer or a doctor and that. Yeah, you can be some upstanding member of the community. If you put your son in the ghetto and he's hanging around with ghetto youths, well, guess what he's going to be? You're a man, you don't bun weed, you don't smoke. If you hang around with 5 men and they bun weed and you're with them 24/7 pretty much, you're with them anytime you got free time, guess what you're going to start doing soon? You're going to start bunning weed. You're with man that all they do is smoke crack. Guess what you're going to do one day? You're going to start smoking crack. Everyone, 99.9% people that smoke, I tell you, it's for this Ross Clark reason. And I clocked it. When I was at that infamous Holborn job that man always made reference to, I clocked it. The reason why some people start smoking and that is, let's say even, for example, at work, you could have 5 work colleagues, yeah? 5 people. 4 of them, at some point in the day, they always go out for a smoke and they leave this one person behind. You know what human beings are like, innit? They always want to fit in. They don't like to feel left out. They're not like man. They don't care about, they don't like being on their own and that. So what they will say is, oh, let me come. They'll go out with their work colleagues and that whilst they're smoking, and someone will say, look, just light it, man. It makes you feel good and it calms you down and that. Stressful day at work and that. And bam, a man's hooked or a gal's hooked, blood. You are what you hang around with. You're a man, you start rolling around with millionaires, Multi-millionaires, man that have got expendable 20 millions sitting right there, fam. Guess what you're going to be soon? As long as you're a hard grinder on that and they see the potential in you, even if you're broke, even if you're flat broke, you're dirt broke, man are going to endorse you, man are going to invest in you. You are what you hang around with, blood. The man them that are doctors and lawyers and fucking bankers and that, you think they hang around with man that are dustbin men? Come on, man, the man them that are electricians and that, they have friends that are of the same sort of pay grade as friends. The man them that is billionaires, millionaires and that, you think they hang around a man who's just an electrician working for a company? No. You are what you hang around with. So just watching that, whilst I was watching that little clip, 5 minutes and that, couldn't really understand what the boy was saying because he had the COVID mask on, and obviously in Birmingham, man, their accent's different, isn't it? I was just thinking to myself, like, if this youth here was raised in Beverly Hills and that, he would not be serving no 17-year sentence. More than likely, there will be a high possibility, almost 100% chance that he would not be involved in a gang life and that. So it's one thing growing up poor, and it's a next growing up in an environment where it's easy to get in gangs and that. Don't get it twisted. There's outliers here and there where youths come from families that are well off. Youths come from families where their parent has put them through private school and them things that a man still jump on gang. But that's one man out of 1,000. Yeah, we're not talking about the anomaly here. The majority of man that come from the gang life and that, they were in an environment where there was gangs about. And if you take that same man, if he was a little kid and he was raised in a nice area where there's no gangs, man just run around and ride around on skateboards and that, you think he will be banging shots at people and trapping all them things there? No, fam. No. So, yeah, man, it's sad to hear that a young youth has basically almost lost his life. Obviously, man could come out of jail when he's 35, 40 years old and still turn it around. But man's going to lose his best years to the streets. It's just not worth it, fam. Just not worth it. The man I'm in jail right now, just keep your head down, fam. Soon Land Road, innit? Big up the man them in the Mounts, Swellside, Weatherby, Feltham, Isis, Lindholm. Stay wise, done now.